My friends, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. Today, I am out here in the middle of nowhere. Destination, can't say. What I can tell you is that I'm out for a stealth camp adventure, and it begins right now. It has been 1 week since Susie and I got back from Colorado. Since then, I've been stuck behind the computer editing videos. Today, I finished. I'm done. So I packed my bag, hit the road, and now I'm out for a quick stealth camp adventure. First things first, I want to get away from this road, at least somewhat. Before I head too far up this mountain, I want to go over here and see if there's any water. It looks like there could be maybe a spring or a creek. It might just be a wet weather spring. Either way, I want to check it out before I go too far on this trip. So this is what's down there. No water, some debris from an old shed or barn, and there's some cows down there. They are hiding from the sun, and I think I will do the same for now. Let's head over this way and see what we can find. So over there, that's where the cows are hanging out. There's a bunch. So go over here, be in the shade, and we'll hike up on top of this mountain. As I'm hiking around here, there are so many awesome places to camp. Check out this gigantic tree here. I can easily make this my home for the night. And I might, I don't know yet. Woo. This is not bad at all. The only thing is I am a little bit exposed. The road is right over there, so yeah, I mean, I can make it work, but we have all day, so let's keep looking. For this adventure, I have a very simple loadout. The weight of my pack here, gear, food, clothes, water, everything, 16.6 pounds. This is a very lightweight, very minimal trip, and the truth is, I could have gone lighter, but I have some gear with me that I'm testing out that I'm not 100% sold on yet. So I brought some backups, just in case. Turkey feather. One thing I could tell you for certain is that it is hot. Really, it's not that bad, but out in the sun, it's pretty hot. Right now, it's about 75 degrees, something like that. In the shade here, it's simply amazing. So you might be able to see it. I'm right here in the corner of this field. Basically, this is a right angle, comes this way. This is not bad. I can use the fence post or the tree, set up my tarp, enjoy a good view. Good is the key word. I think I could do better. You can see that hole there. That is a yellow jacket's nest, and it's a big one. That really goes to show you have to be careful when you're in the outdoors, and it doesn't matter if you're allergic to bees or whatnot. For anyone, that could be major, major trouble. Still hiking around here, still looking for the perfect campsite. There are a lot of options. I really like this one here. You will see why as soon as I show it to you. How incredibly beautiful is that? Over here, that is where the sun sets. And tonight, it will be spectacular. You are gigantic. So far, what I like the best is this little group of trees back over here. I like it. I'm pretty well hidden from the road, but at the same time, I have incredible views. So I think that's what I'm going to take. Now, of course, I'm not going to set up anything until it's almost dark. When you're out for a stealth camp adventure, you have to follow the rules. I've talked about the rules in just about every single one of these trips. And I may go over some of these rules again later on, but if you follow the rules, you lower your chances of getting caught and of having problems. So this is what I've come up with, everyone. A quick and dirty tension bench. Let's give it a shot. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so that's done. So I have a nice place here to sit, to chill. I have amazing views all around me. Vehicles are driving by. They have no idea that I'm here. This is nice, folks. This is nice. One of the most important rules when it comes to stealth camping is this. You don't burn anything, you don't cut anything, don't break anything. This little bit of rope here is no big deal. It can come down in 1 second. It's one thing to have a quick campsite when you're out in the middle of nowhere for a night. And it's something completely different to actually begin building, breaking, destroying, altering something that you do not own. I will keep this set up until tomorrow morning. Once I have coffee, breakfast, and ready to head out, I'll break this down and nobody will ever know that I was here. That's how you have to be when you're out stealth camping. So folks, there's a few things I know for certain. 1, I'm ready for this coffee. 2, I did a terrible job of stirring this up. Cheers. As I was making coffee, I was filming all this, not really paying attention. And I hear, hello. I look up, there's a woman coming towards me. She has a big old backpack on, so we start talking. See, there is a hiking trail that's fairly close to here, but she's actually off trail. She's a little bit lost. She said that she's not really sure where she's at, but I told her, and I told her what she was coming up on. Anyway, she is from Arizona. Today, she hit 300 miles on that trail, which is incredible. The funny thing is, folks, she's stealth camping on this as well. That's so funny. With the trail, you cannot camp on it. Or that's what they say. The thing is, everybody just stealth camps on it, and that's because it's the only logical thing to do. You can't get off the trail, go find a place to stay and come back. It's just ridiculous. But that's the policy for that trail. Anyways, that's pretty funny. So cheers to her, 300 miles. Oh yeah. There's nothing better than being out on the trail by yourself. I talk about this ever so often, but going lone wolf all by yourself, you need it. You need that time to get away from everybody else, to get away from the talking, and just have some silence. it does a lot. It really does. It does a lot for you. It's good for you. Anyways, everyone, for this trip, I'm using the Swiss M71 stove. I've had to refill this with sterno, and it works just fine. The key to using a stove like this, alcohol gels and other fuels, you have to have the proper distance away from the heat source. A mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they will have their pot right next to it. When it's that close, the fuel isn't having enough time to really combust, so all of that heat is just dissipating. You have to have about an inch and a half, 2 inches above the heat source, above the fuel. That's where the maximum heat is. Without the proper distance away from your fuel, it will take forever to heat up your water to make coffee and to cook with. With methanol fuels like sterno, it only burns at roughly 175 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're using it incorrectly, you're just simply going to make your life very difficult. Anyways, as I sit here, I'm basically just staring at these incredible views. There is some traffic, but it's not too bad. Later on tonight, it will die down, and it will be rather peaceful out here. So, folks, these are my companions here. Huge cows. Want some coffee? Taster's nasty? Anyone? All right, everyone. I have a mission for us. We need to go find some water. I've been studying my map, and I think I've found some. And I think I could take the trail, the hiking trail, and get to it. It's going to be a few miles, but I have nothing else to do, and the day is still young. Check out this cloud, folks. It's raining there, and there's also a passing shower right there. I'll come back to the friction bench that I set up. That's a very easy setup, by the way. You can call it either a friction or a tension bench, because it really is using both elements to support that branch. After I finished up coffee, the cows came over, they visited for a little bit. There's a bull here. That's the big boy that you saw. They've given me permission to camp, so that's good. Right now, they're hiding out over here, back in the shade. That bull is gigantic. Nuclear bull. He was science experiment big. Let's get some water, folks. Our mission has been accomplished. I have water. Now I'm heading back to the campsite. I've dropped down a good 300 or 400 feet to come down here to get this. Permission to pass, guardians. Guardian cows. Hi. Hi. There's the big boy, and that is definitely his woman right there. absolutely stunning. We have about an hour and 20 minutes of light left. So I should probably go ahead and make dinner, get that out of the way. And then right as it's getting dark, I'll set up my tarp system. Beautiful. And also chilly. The temperature's dropping. I'm a little bit wet with sweat. It's breezy. It's time for a jacket, I think. As the sun is going down, everyone, and I'm making dinner here, I figured I would tell you all about the time that my family and I contracted COVID-19. A couple of months back, I posted a video, I think it was a random luncheon chat, and I stated that we had been exposed thanks to my brother who had went down to Florida. Well, after 2 weeks, I think I posted a follow-up comment that said like we didn't contract the virus or something like that. It took about almost 3 weeks and then it hit. And yeah, we all got sick, we all had COVID. That was a truly bizarre experience. I've never been sick like that in my entire life. So as far as Susie goes, she had like a slight little cold for a few days and then felt fine. My son, not too bad. He certainly felt worse than Susan, but it wasn't bad, and it lasted maybe a week for him. For myself, I was sick for roughly 3 weeks. Now, I never did post anything about this because I'm not someone who cares for attention or anything like that. I don't want anybody's sympathy or anything like that, so I figured I would just go through it, then tell you all about it. So here we are. It's been almost 3 months now, something like that. So, for myself, I was sick for 3 weeks. Not deathly ill or anything like that. I had a fever, a high-grade fever for 2 weeks. That was actually pretty miserable, to be honest with you. It made it so I couldn't sleep very well. As soon as I would close my eyes and kind of drift off, my mind would just race all night long. I couldn't sleep, couldn't rest. I would just sit there and just sweat my brains out like all night long. Absolutely soak myself. I'd have to put towels down and change those out every single night, because I would soak them. I would soak everything. Imagine 2 weeks of that, of a high-grade fever all day, all night, couldn't sleep. On the last week out of the 3 weeks, my fever broke, it was gone, and I had a cough. Not too bad, it went away pretty quickly, but yeah, another side effect of the virus was that everything smelt very burnt, and everything tasted like salt. It was truly a very weird experience. I've never been sick like that before. So my question for you all is this: if you've had COVID, what were your symptoms like? What was your experiences? That sunset, everyone, unbelievable. This spot, it's a secret gem. For dinner, real termat, reindeer stew. And it is awesome. You may be wondering if there's any side effects to having COVID. At least for myself, I can tell you all there is. I'm having a strange side effect, and so is my brother. We are both losing hair from it. As far as looks go, I really don't care. If you follow this channel for any period of time, that's not very important to me. Most of the time, my hair's going any which way, it just does whatever it wants to. I have no idea how long this is going to last. Apparently, it is a common side effect due to COVID. It's tied in with having a fever, a high-grade fever, for a long period of time. It happens to men and women. We'll see where it stops, right? Maybe it will fill back in. I really have no idea. If I'm bald in a couple months, you know why. I'm finishing up dinner. I've also taken the time to set up my tarp and sleeping arrangements. You can see the Fjallraven tarp. There's my bug bivvy, and that's what it is. It's a bug bivvy. Up at the top, that section right there is mesh. Inside of that, I have my sleeping pad and the Carthenia sleeping bag liner. I'm going to use that product tonight and see if it will keep me warm into the 50s. It may even dip into the 40s later on. Just in case it can't, I have a down blanket as well. All right, folks, it is time for me to go to bed. It's not all that late. It's only about 9 o'clock. It's getting chilly. I'm interested to see if that sleeping bag liner will keep me warm. We'll find out soon enough. All right. I'm inside of the liner now. Inside of the bivvy. We've gone red. I love the cool breeze. Feels amazing. All right. I guess I will end it here, everyone. I'll say goodnight for now. I appreciate you all joining me on this quick trip. The plan is pretty simple for the morning. Get up early, have coffee. I don't think there's going to be much of a sunrise here. It should be coming up over this direction. Because of where I've parked my truck at, leaving it overnight, no big deal, but I don't want to leave it too long. If it's out there too long, someone may begin asking some questions. So get up early, breakfast, coffee, bounce out. Wrap it up as an awesome stealth camping adventure. So good night for now, folks. I'll bring you all back if anything interesting happens. I will see you all in the morning. Good night. I'm pretty sure you all can hear this, but at the moment I am surrounded by coyotes. They are everywhere. And also, they're getting close. I don't expect to have any issues, but I do have my handgun with me, just in case. I'm not really sure what time it is, maybe 2, 3 o'clock. I just spent the last 10 minutes tying off this tarp again. All of a sudden, the winds have kicked up. They're blowing maybe 20, 30 miles an hour. I mean, they're really rocking. I'd say the gusts, sometimes 40, but it ripped some of the tent stakes out of the ground. So basically, I've been running around here in my underwear because I took my pants off earlier because it was hot, but just running around here, staking everything out again, tying it off. It will not come loose this time, but you can hear it. I retied the tarp the best I could. It's not very tight, but at least the stakes are not going to come out of the ground, so it's the best I could do. 3 o'clock in the morning. I checked the weather radar, there's nothing out there. I checked the forecast, it says calm conditions, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to try to get some sleep. So far, that has not been easy. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, folks. Good night for now. What a ride. Folks, last night was rough. It was rough. I did not sleep well at all. It's just been super, super windy. It has calmed down a little bit, so it's not as bad, but yeah. That's how it goes sometimes. It's actually a little bit later than what I was hoping to get up at, but I needed a little bit of sleep. But I'm awake now. I'm going to get up, get dressed, and break this down. That is another rule. At first light, you break down camp. So, Oh man. Let's get up, folks. I used a down blanket from Get Out There Gear. That did a pretty good job last night in conjunction with that bivvy. The temp right now, low 50. Might even be in the 40s. Once the winds picked up last night, that's when I needed this blanket. Last night was rough, that's for sure. I think in total, I may have slept, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, something like that. The whole forest was just roaring. But really, folks, it was a good night. I really can't complain. I didn't hear any animals, didn't have any issues outside of the wind. The sleeping bag liner from Corinthia is an excellent product. I was comfortable with it down to roughly maybe 55 degrees, something like that. With this backpack, this is from a company called Sabra Gear. In the past, they made really, really awesome military backpacks, but they've kind of switched gears over to the ultralight space. This is the Synergy backpack, and it is excellent. It's one of the best ultralight packs I've used. Here's another tip for you all. If you're going to use an M71 stove, there is a gasket on the inside of the lid, but it will age and eventually it will leak. So I always keep it in a Ziploc bag just in case. Better safe than sorry. Breakfast this morning is going to be rather simple. I'm having a Nutri-Grain bar, that's it, some coffee, and then it's time to bounce out of here. This was the trip that I was looking for. I wish I slept better last night, but I mean, you can't beat the location. The incredible views. I mean, it was just spectacular. Even when I was going to bed last night, the sky was just glowing orange and red. It is incredibly awesome. Here's a question for you all. I'm sure many do not know the answer. Why is it that strong winds come at nighttime? I have always wanted to camp out here, and I'm glad that I did. This is federal parkland, part of a farm lease. It's just a beautiful spot. I made this strong and nasty, because that's what I need today. So, cheers everyone, cheers. Let's talk science and weather, everyone. This is information that you need to know. No matter where you're going, no matter what elevation, you need to know potentially what's going to happen and how everything works. So I asked you, why does it seem to be windier at nighttime and then die off during the day? It really depends on your elevation. So what happens at nighttime? Cool air settles down at the ground. Warm air goes aloft. That shift of cold air and warm air is known as an inversion, and basically that usually shuts down most of the surface level winds. That's the case at lower elevations, not here in the mountains, because you have the cooler air and the winds higher up where we are at. At lower elevations, you will notice that it's actually windier during the day than at nighttime, but in the mountains, it's oftentimes the opposite. It'll be windier at night, die down during the day. There you go, folks. That's a little bit of science for you. Last night was great. Even though I didn't sleep with it was fantastic. You know what I mean? It's those times where things really don't go according to plan that you remember the most. So I will remember for a long time, underneath the tarp, the stakes getting ripped out of the ground, the winds are blowing like 40 miles an hour. I have to get up, put my boots on. I didn't even have my pants on, and I had to re-tie this. So, yeah, that's awesome. It was a good night. It was. It was a good trip. That breeze, everyone. It feels good. That's that, everybody. This trip is coming to an end. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you've had a good time. Make sure to share your stealth camping rules with everyone else. The Outdoor Gear Review is all about the community. We are here to help each other. It's all about information, so share away. What a beautiful place, I tell you. I mean, it's just spectacular. I could see that there's some cows down here. One of them came and paid me a visit last night, maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, right next to the tent, munching away. It's getting cooler and cooler every day. It will be snowing before you all know it. And we will be out together, facing the storms. I can't wait. Good morning. Thank you for letting me camp with you last night. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have 2 young ones up here next to the gate. So I will have to be careful. I don't want Mom to get upset, and there's a possibility she will. Look at you. Gosh, you are gigantic. They are the couple. They're always together. Thank you for letting me camp with you. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Goodbye, cows. Goodbye, YouTube. Make sure to hit the thumbs up because it does help the channel. You could support on Patreon, here on YouTube. You could join the Wolf Pack. Here with the Outdoor Gear Review, we do things differently. I'm not selling products. I only share information and adventures. There's no BS with this channel. No sponsorships, no product placements, none of that crap. Be well, strength and honor. I will see you all in the next upload.
Now that